Oh no, no nerves, no nerves. All right. So we're back faster than we would normally be. This is not episode 16. This is just a continuation of episode 15. This is part two. Um, at Bobby Bronz, at not Patrick Hughes. And we got a guest today for part two.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
please say your handle on Instagram?
Yeah. At Johnny Tsunami.
There it is.
Yes, sir. The Wave God.
I'm so excited to be here, man. Big fan of the pod, big fan of everything y'all have done prior. And I'm just ready to talk shit, but in a professional way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get
Yeah,
it.
most definitely. And I think and the crazy thing is for the topics that we have really to come back, because I texted Pat, I think it was last night, and I was like, because the recording was a little funky at first, and we were thinking we were gonna have to re-record, but it was just so much that happened in that day. He was like, "Nah, we gotta run it back for a part two." So we definitely, this is some stuff that's definitely more lighthearted. So it's
Yeah.
definitely kind of talk a little. You can talk a little shit.
Yeah, thank God, because y'all be wilding on this motherfucker, boy. Hey, Bronz, you be letting Pat go loose on this bitch.
Yeah, nah, I mean, it's the ISO. It's the ISO. Listen, if he's ISO, I know how the game goes.
You are the perfect co-host, man.
Run the pick and get up out the way. But to start, we started with the bag. Did you want to start with the bag?
Start with the bag. We start with the bag.
This is quick though, but Pat actually just showed it to me. Part one, we talked about obviously a beautiful night. The Louis Vuitton fashion show was, how great it was for hip hop. There was a bunch of beautiful black people there, but it always has to be some type of hate involved. He showed me the tweet today, just now, and so I'm thinking, all right, somebody says there's some stealing allegations. I don't want to instantly just throw it away, but things happen. Nothing's new under the sun. And I'm looking at what old girl does, and she's talking about being viral. And I don't know if y'all saw it, but there's a bag. She takes these used bags. I got something around here actually I got a box, but a bag. She takes it, puts it in a plastic bag, jizzes it up a little bit, and was using it as an actual handbag. And it did go viral. It was crazy. I don't know. I didn't really care for it at the time. I also don't carry bags for real. I thought it was what it was. It kind of reminded me of when you see people put their shoe boxes on the wall, or they keep all their, their bait bags or stuff from places in Supreme, and I'm like, all right, toss that shit. It was to carry your stuff when you left. Get rid of it. And yeah, man, I wasn't rocking with it. It was not thievery. It was not stealing. She was absolutely reaching.
Can you steal something that is yours? Like it's your logo, it's your branding, it's your bag. So somebody repurposed it.
Yeah.
And that's good. But at the end of the day, it's LVs. Like I don't.
Oh
I don't know.
shit! So you in that slave master mentality,
for stuff like this, yeah. You know, because you know me, I'm all about my freedoms. I'm all about equal rights. But I feel like if you take their shit, it's like it's their branding, it's their packaging, it's their shit. So you repurposed it, and it was cool for your audience. But I guess it was cool for Pharrell and them too, nigga. They said, well, shit, nigga, that's a great idea. I think we should start running with that.
And they did it better.
Oh, shit.
And that is the...
okay, so here's the thing.
It's never about who does it first.
It's about who did it the best. Here's the thing. I think when I immediately saw the video, because I think at this point, a lot of people have seen that video. I thought about the Virgil video about the 30% rule, right? And him talking about how he encourages people to bootleg his merch off white because it helps the brand grow,
Pushes the brand, yeah.
It pushes the brand. So I immediately thought about that, and then I thought about the 30% rule, which, if you don't know, his 30% rule is all about taking a brand and changing 30% of it, and then making it your brand. It's almost like the creator's guide to bootlegging.
Yeah.
I appreciate that rule. R.I.P. Virgil, may V forever. I appreciate that rule, and I appreciate him saying it to the creators that are just creating, and she did that, right? She
Yeah.
took the bag and put her own twist on it. I don't like the big brand reaching out and saying that's a good idea. I'm going to take your bootleg idea and implement it in real time. That's corny. So and maybe I'm probably the only person on the fence, like on this side of the fence. I didn't like Pharrell's collection. I don't like Pharrell. I don't think that Pharrell can dress that well, and I don't think he should be the Louis Vuitton. I'm glad he corrected himself when he said he wasn't a Louis Vuitton Don, because he's not. Because I don't think he might be dripless. I don't see it. I think he has great skin. I think he has awesome skateboards. I think he makes some of the best beats in the world. But like that collection, I don't want to go back to the collection because I know I'll cover that. But like a lot of that shit was weak. So for them to even have that anywhere near the collection is weak.
My man. Okay.
You told me to be me.
You said for a great dress, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I think that I think the collection, because I wasn't really like bobbing with the collection in totality. I didn't like a lot of the I liked a lot of the prints, but the main print, the one that's
Damiflage.
Yeah, the Damiflage, that one. I ain't really rock with it. I do like, it's growing on me though. I ain't even gonna hold you. When you go back and you see that Jay-Z is not in a black suit, he's not even in a brown suit. He's in a Damiflage.
What color is it?
It's Damiflage.
That suit that he was wearing was Damiflage.
Damiflage.
That he took the jacket off and put the brown one on top of.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
So
it's very subtle.
Those type of things is the stuff that now I'm looking at.
But did you like the bedazzle on it?
The bedazzle, I don't like the bedazzle.
What are you talking about on the brown jacket?
On the brown jacket, yeah.
Oh, you could keep it.
Like the bedazzle feels very like 2004.
But that's for
I just don't like bedazzle at all. But I think that was kind of his theme. Was like, I'm gonna reach back to like stuff that is me, but with this as the overall canvas.
When niggas hit you with
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess here's the thing: would I be happy with anything he would have done? Because I'm a very, very big Virgil fan. So
which is a fair point. Which I could appreciate that thought, because it's like, look, I understand that this may not be for me.
Yeah,
and you're kind of following up a guy I idolize.
Yeah,
which is fair too. Because I just went to, well, not just did it, but earlier in the year I was at the exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum, and I mean, just obviously when you see all of this stuff like in one place, in like a 30-minute hour thing, it's like, okay, this guy was out of this world. Like,
yeah, he was an alien.
Yeah, crazy. When you see it all in one place, it's like, nah, this nigga's nuts. And then he was like, it felt like he was really just getting started, because we had just saw like that last Louis collection. I remember we was talking about this, Pat, that last Louis joint, which was really like, was it like his first one for real?
Yeah.
With the varsities and everything. And it was like, oh yeah, this nigga, he was just like, he was
probably hitting that stride.
He was just getting there, and we was like, damn.
Yeah.
It was premature.
I think what Pharrell is attempting to do, or I don't know. I think what he's attempting to do is kind of bring it back to center. If I had to use an analogy, I would say Virgil is Trump, Pharrell is Biden, and we're just trying to right this ship and get things back in the best way possible. Like Virgil's a disruptor, and what he added to LV was like, he brought the streetwear to it. He brought all these elements to it that haven't been seen in high fashion before, and it's something else. He brought something from the outside, something that's outside trying to get in, and he brought that to high fashion. I think what Pharrell is doing is taking it back, like still using some of those elements because of course you saw like the rugby joint that he did.
Then he had like a leather bomber that he had the
Yeah,
clips
so
in and shit
it's
like that.
still very much he still has those pieces, but I feel like what he was doing was kind of right in that ship and bringing it back to a center where it's like, okay, we did have this extreme, let's bring it back down to a more like I guess I won't even say more normal, but like just a more centered place where it's like, okay, we're not gonna it's not as accentuated like vision for it. It's just this is just LV. This is just LV now. It's not Virgil's LV. It's not Pharrell's LV. I'm just doing LV.
You know, it's really interesting you say that because I think that's what Pharrell's superpower is. So if you even think about music and how he does the 4 count stuff, or like when he uses those like even his drums or even his like he samples, but not even like in a unique way. Or I just think about how Kanye. You remember that video where Kanye West and Pharrell are listening to the same sample, but they both sampled it different ways. I think
Oh
Pharrell
yeah.
stays in a really good like he does. Happy is the biggest example. Happy is a perfect song, but it's not a disruptor at all. Like it's just people saying because I'm happy, and like to your point, Pat, I can understand why Louis Vuitton would want somebody like that, but also I just feel like it's not Pharrell's fault that the one of the biggest fashion houses in the world, if not the biggest fashion house, didn't want to take any more swings. So it's like I don't like that. And also, speaking of the bigger brand reaching down, which is fucking. Can I curse on you? I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Which is fucking weird. The lovers thing. That lovers thing is like complete shit, and it's completely
like
stolen. No, what is it? Red letters from Atlanta. They've been doing that shit.
No, you talking about like the love poster? It's the Virginia.
It's like a Virginia thing.
Yeah, Virginia's
the LV others thing.
Yeah, that's a Virginia thing.
That's Virginia. That's Virginia's like state slogan.
Oh shit! Maybe I saw it from a bootleg. Oh, that's on me. Oh shit.
Oh, but I know what they're talking about. Exactly they got one. They got one in New York. I think they got one in Philly. They have that. I think they have one in Chicago as well. But I think that's actually a Virginia thing.
Oh, that's
the first thing we saw it at was at something in the water. They had their like collab collection there. I also think to kind of build on what you guys were saying, which you mentioning it, like I wasn't being nearly as critical, but now that I think about it from what you're saying, like to be fair, it's like a kind of a mixture of both what you guys are saying. Like not only are we trying to center it, not only are we trying to get it away from like being disruptive, but it's like this is my first collection. I kind of have to play it safe because number one, the guy before me had collections where he could just kind of jump out and do stupid shit. Yeah. Or, just avant-garde, just try shit. Where it's like, all right, I definitely don't want y'all to think I'm biting him.
Damn.
But I also want to like kind of give an homage to what was before and then show you a bit of me. And so maybe the first collections where it's like, to be fair,
that's that Chanel
shit he was like I told Pat when we first saw him wearing some of the shit, he was wearing a damier print, and I was like, "Look, you can literally take the damier print and put it on our favorite garments, whatever you like to wear. You like to wear a bomber jacket, you like to wear a leather, you like to wear a trench coat, you like to wear jeans. You could take the damier print and put it on that, and it's gonna look great. It don't matter because it's a classic piece and it's a classic print. Yeah. And then what is its collection? It's heavy damier print. So it's like you can't go wrong with damier.
I think the problem with that though, I didn't mean to cut you off, Pat. I think that it's not a problem because I don't think it's a problem. Ultimately, black man winning. More power to the people. I think my issue is that it's intentional, but it's not thoughtful. Yeah. Right? Like it's intentional to the point where we need to play it safe. And then maybe this is my first time at bat, and I want to give homage to the past. And maybe this is like a snippet of where we're going to take it, but it's not thoughtful because it's just not daring. Like why play it safe? I just don't get. I don't get how you get to the top of the podium and play it like at the top of the hill and play it safe. I'll never subscribe to that. Like if I got the bat right now, I'm gonna break that motherfucker. I'm gonna hit a home run, break it in half. I couldn't play baseball, bro. I couldn't because I'm gonna do the worm. I'm gonna do it all.
So you Jordan in Space Jam. Nigga tell you don't swing, you swing.
I'm letting that motherfucker go. I'm letting it go.
It's probably
But you gotta be a
imposter
personality
syndrome,
thing.
honestly. It's probably imposter syndrome. I mean, I don't think he thinks he's supposed to be here.
Well, and that's the thing too, and that's the thing too, because even with remember when you talk about Happy, when Happy came out, he did that interview with Oprah. He was like, of course, it's his biggest song, but he was like, he broke down and cried about Happy, and was like, this is like my first one. Like I finally feel like I'm finally here, and it's like, bro, you made
fronting, bitch.
You made fronting. You made shake it fast.
What did they say? The year 2003, he was like 45% of the radio. Like, wasn't that? It was like him and Tim were like half the radio that year or whatever.
And this man is breaking down, crying with the fucking Dudley Do-Right hat on, talking about some damn. I finally arrived. They finally see me.
That's
it's like,
some
holy
good, but
shit.
You know what? That's a dog whistle for.
Stop it.
Okay.
What's in the dog was?
White people finally love me, bitch. White people finally. I've been making frontings, hiding hers. They finally love me. I done crossed over.
I'll tell you this. I can hate on a lot of shit niggas be saying, but something I could definitely cling my glass to is people trying to get white acceptance. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm on the other side of that. Like, I'm totally against that. Yep. Do what the fuck it is. Look, you got here. They asked you, my boy, put your dick on the table. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they asked you. I could have went anywhere. I could have did anything. I don't have to live in Paris. It's a 6-hour time difference from Virginia. It's a 9-hour time difference from LA. Why am I here if I'm not gonna? Yeah, I'm not gonna put my dick on the table. Why am I spending a quarter of the year here?
I think the takeaway from after that is now you gotta put your dick on the table.
Put your dick on the table, man.
Yeah, he's
especially if they ask you. Yeah, if you was begging. If you was begging, it'd be different. But they was like, hey, you know what? Why not you,
brother?
Like, why not me? There, just shit up.
Because I know Kanye West would have had everybody dressing like it was in a cult, bitch. It would have been LV cult, and it would have been, hey, at least he would have tried. It would have been trash, but at least
it would have been like Rick Owens. It would have been hella dark.
Shoes, but hey, the sock shoes, but it would have been something. Because I appreciate the thoughtfulness rather than the intentionalness. That's where I land
on. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I'm not totally against that. All right, where do you want to take this next, Pat?
I mean, in the true spirit of kind of what John's talking about, if he got the at bat, he just gonna swing for the fences. He gonna go all out. He gonna say, "Fuck the rules. Fuck playing it safe. Fuck," you know. And when we say "fuck playing it safe," sometimes people wound up, you know, in a spontaneous complosion or some shit, right? Like what just happened? What was everybody enamored with for the last 3-4 days?
Damn submarine.
Oh, this nigga talking about the submarine.
Damn submarine.
What just happened? The shit imploded.
Now, the wild shit is apparently it's been imploded for 3 days.
4 days. The niggas been dead. They were dead when the shit went viral.
Niggas. The whole time, like, so what the hell did they hear thumping down there? What was that?
It was really the orcas fucking slapping their tails on the fucking blown up parts, bitch. Like,
what was that? What did they see? Everybody was guessing.
It's incredible, bro. It's incredible, like the arrogance of people. I ain't even gonna limit this one to white folk.
Yeah.
As people are arrogant.
However,
I could. I try my best not to. We like to be inclusive. We all can get it. Yeah. We all get a little arrogant sometimes. But like the video circulating, it's like a 30-second clip of him like quoting somebody talking about like, oh yeah, the greatest people are remembered for the rules that they break. And then he looks around. He's sitting in the shit that these niggas got skulls up in. He's sitting in the shit and he's like, I broke a lot of rules here. We're not supposed to use carbon fiber. I use carbon fiber. And it's like, nigga.
When niggas told me it was the size of a minivan, that was enough for me to be like, "Oh, we supposed to go down 5 hours? I don't even want to drive to Atlanta in a car Like that's just too small of a space, too long of a time. If I can help it, let's just hop on this little 60-minute flight. But you talking about going down 2 hours, kicking it for a couple, and then taking a couple hours to come
telling
up
you, man.
in a
Nigga, when I seen the
minivan.
Dreamcast controller, I say, whoa, these niggas is
And it's because I said I'm like, why is GameCube controller trending? What the fuck is going on? And then threw Logitech in there. Logitech over here, like, what the
They
fuck do
catching
we do?
strays.
I always liked Logitech. They've been fine with me.
I think the funniest part, not to say, not to say that niggas imploding 30,000 or 30 million, whatever, however far it was in the ocean. The funniest part is that CNN, Fox News, everybody's interviewing James Cameron, like this nigga's the head of like oceanic affairs. All he did was make Titanic.
Nah,
Yeah,
bro,
that was
he
that was
really
pretty wild.
Aquaman, bro. He Aquaman,
That
bro.
was so wild. I'm like, because once again, I'm one of the, I let a lot of the theme of this podcast is like, will not, this shit will go over my head. And I remember just clicking through. I'm like, talking to James,
But check it,
whatever.
check it. So the part that makes all that worse, right? Because James Cameron is adding to it, and because I went through and watched a couple trying to like prep, right?
Trying to figure it
And
out.
this man is on there being like, I don't know what they were thinking. He was like, he's like,
You're selling out crazy.
he's like, I've been down there plenty of times. He's like, I just built a submarine like 10 years ago. We went further than the Titanic. I don't know what these guys were like. So he
Fair.
going in. He's like, I've been on the Titanic more longer than the actual captain of the Titanic. I'm like, this guy is literally that arrogant asshole that told everybody that, you know what, y'all can sit in the theater for 3 hours and watch Avatar 2. Y'all can do that. Y'all be all right. He's back again, and he was right then, and he's right now. The motherfucker should not have done that shit. Like, I just don't understand, because he's talking about how well regulated that industry is.
Yeah.
Because of, I guess, how unsafe it is. So they have to regulate it. You go in to see the Titanic, you're not necessarily worried about the pressure of everything. You're worried about like getting caught in some of the twisted metal or something like that. You shouldn't be worried about, can this vessel take the pressure? So the vessel couldn't take the pressure. He was on there with one of his homies, and he was like, yeah, I've known what happened since we got the call on Sunday when they said that their tracker went out. He said
it's done. He's like, it's done.
He said they got a call. They were out. He said we were out on the boat on Sunday, and we got a call.
When did they officially leave?
I still don't know, because I'm like, wait, we didn't find out about it until what, Tuesday?
Yeah, something weird happening.
And
I want to say they left Sunday.
Because I heard it was a few hours. I heard it was a few hours after they went down that they lost them, and I was like, damn.
They said that what they think happened. And they said that he didn't want to speak on it because he didn't want to be a dissenting voice while everybody was trying to give hope. So everybody's talking about they heard banging and they heard this, and they're giving false hope to the family. I don't want to be the one to be like, they've been dead. But this man said that what probably happened was they started feeling that pressure, and then they tried to come
back up, and it came too fast.
So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I seen a little animation of it.
Yeah.
Nigga. Looked like a Thanos snap. Like it was I was like, God. That thing just
That's why you don't do that. That's why you don't do that.
They said it was like what they said was like 500 elephants sitting on you or some crazy shit. Like just one elephant sitting on you is a curtain.
What y'all think about the discourse around like people talking about the billionaire dying? And I've been seeing a lot online about how people are like, they don't really feel bad because he was a billionaire, and they're making the case that billionaires are inherently evil. So it's just one less evil person on Earth.
You want to take this, or you want me to go first? How you feel about this?
Go ahead.
All right, so I don't give a fuck, but not because they were billionaires. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't, like, I care. Obviously, it's tragic that there was a loss of life. Like, that sucks. And that's unfortunate and that's sad. But it's like, man, that's like some, I want to be as respectful as possible, but like when you were younger and like you maybe didn't do the calculus on like going to a girl house, like maybe somebody comes home early, or maybe you got to fight their big brother, or dad got a gun. Like you only are able to think about not think about shit like that when your frontal lobe is not finished. You know what I'm saying? Like when you 16, you just like whatever. You powered by horniness. And I've been in situations, and I look back at it now at 30, and I'm like, I should have died. This was a dumb fuck. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Why would
Yeah.
it's so if I had all the money in the world like these niggas did, and I see what vessel. When do you think the last time they were in a car like that? Like they was
Oh,
like, oh, let's take a Mini Cooper. Like no, we're taking the biggest fucking Maybach that we can, a private jet for
A
five
paper
of us.
mache Mini Cooper.
It's a 30-seater jet. It's five of us. We're taking this. And these motherfuckers like, nah, let's go to some places that we should probably never go, in something smaller than any car I've ever driven in the last 20 years. And
good.
they thought that was, and they paid $250,000 for it.
Which is like $10 for them. That's not even nothing for them.
Which
So
is
they
cool.
took the cheap option, being shit.
And that's the
even
thing.
worse.
That's the shit. Because a trip like that
Yeah.
should run you $1 million.
Yeah.
And they got the 70.
At least.
It should run you $1 million. It's the same shit as the motherfuckers going up in SpaceX, right? Like the motherfuckers that's
You buy cheap, you buy twice. My dad says it all the time. Except
not unless you're seagull food.
Bro.
Like, yeah, them niggas. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I don't like Bronz said. I don't feel bad. It's a loss of life, so it's tragic on that front. But I don't care. Not because they're billionaires. I don't care because you did something stupid. It's like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. I don't feel bad when things like this happen to people. You were warned. You tempted fate. Fate won.
that's what happened with the first joint, right? They said God couldn't put down that boat.
It's exactly what happened, and that's the ironic thing and the scary thing about it. It's like, bruh, like you had all the warnings.
Like, hold my beer. You think I can't put this boat down?
It's fun, but you know how
must not have heard my stories.
You know how wild it is that people still continue to do this. Like you won't just you said Thanos snap your shit up. Like this, that's just it. That's essentially what happened. I don't know if you were in a well regulated industry and you ignored the regulations.
Took shortcuts. That's like the plane shit. Like getting up in planes. Like I'm not playing with no planes. Like just where I need to get back. Don't try to take no special routes. You know what I'm saying? Like you see shit like where like landing gear not working. Like come on, bro. What are we talking about?
This, and to sad this shit up. What happened with Kobe?
I was thinking the same. I didn't want to say it, bitch. R.I.P. Bean.
You know what I'm saying? Because this one wasn't on him, but once again, these people, the fucking pilot,
you trying to get too cute.
I got it. I ain't worried about no fall. Yeah, I get you there. You want to go or nah? Niggas really went. It's like that's just how. Anybody, message for everybody. Anybody say you want to go or nah? No, I'm straight.
I'm not in no rush. I'm not in no hurry to get anywhere fast. Like that's why I leave the house. I leave the house so much earlier. I don't want to speed. You know what I'm saying? Like I drive defensively. Like I've taken all the necessary precautions. I'm trying to make it home, and I'm not putting myself in harm's way if I can help it.
There is something like, I guess, humanistic. Maybe it's not a human quality, but there's something about like exotic vacations or exotic things. Like, nigga, would you eat like pufferfish? You know what I mean? Like the pufferfish sushi?
I would never.
That shit sound kind of cool. You could die, but that shit sound kind of cool. I feel like it's the same shit going down in the little Honda Odyssey in the middle of the ocean. This is like eating pufferfish.
But is the pufferfish safe?
That's the gamble you got to take.
Yeah, if you're telling me like how they put the little pre-warning on like when you're eating undercooked meat, it's like there's a possibility that you can get sick. Like we kind of take that, you feel me? Mm-hmm. But by and large, niggas ain't really getting sick off eating sushi. You know what I'm saying? For the most
Yeah,
part,
but niggas is
like
dying.
even though it's you know what I'm saying, but so like, what's the
You know,
percentage?
you
Like what are
You
you
gotta
telling
play
me? Like
this.
eating gas
what is
station
the?
food and shit.
Oh, see, I can't do that no
What's
more.
black people's superpower though? Black people can play the because we've been playing the risk our entire life, playing the odds. We can calculate some shit quick as hell, bitch.
Yeah,
That's a
because if
fucking
you,
superpower.
it's like
That's our sixth sense.
if you tell me it's like 50-50, like a coin flip, I'm like, nah, that's a little too tight for me. If it's
Can't do a
like
coin flip.
10%, you might get sick.
Roll the dice.
Yeah.
I rolled a dice on
How good
10.
is how good is the puffer though? Is it fire? Is it Michelin star worthy? I might indulge. You know what I mean?
Man, rest in
Yeah,
peace to the folk, man. You know what I'm
Let's be some
saying?
folk, man.
They
and the
out of here.
stepson about to be loaded. Where was he at when they
Boy,
called him? Where
you
was
know how
they at
much
when they called him?
sympathy pussy he about to get on that man. Tell you that right
Nigga, I'd be on the flight to Paris. It's Fashion Week. That shit on the runway right now. Can I put my pre-order in?
now. No cap.
That bag coming through. Just charge them credit cards up until
Did y'all see his
they figure
response
out
to
the
Cardi? Did y'all see the response to Cardi B?
who's that.
The stepson, because Cardi
Oh,
he was at the Blink 182 concert or whatever, and Cardi B was like,
oh,
"You
okay.
supposed to be supporting your mom and your family dying, and you don't care." Blah blah blah. And he
And
was
what did
like,
he say?
"You're tasteless. You're
Oh,
using this time to get some clout." He was like, "You're trying to get clout off my tragedy." He's like, "You're tasteless." It's like, I mean,
It's kind of the point. He was staying low.
I've been in situations where tragedy strikes my family, and my dad is like, "Hey, man, get out. What do you got planned to do? Just go ahead and do what you was planning on doing, bro. Like, don't sit around here being sad with me." It's like, I got it. Yeah, it's what it
One
is.
thing I think I've learned in my life, one of the big things I've learned is like you can't really judge how people grieve, and like
mm.
people just grieve in different ways. Like some people want to go to work, like
Say
like
so.
like
I
I
will
mean
not go
we were just
turn
talking
lights
about
down.
Bean. We were just talking about Bean, right? And then think about all the players that like that idolized Bean, and they was doing giving their posts, and they're like, yeah, Kobe would have wanted me to play this game. He wouldn't have wanted me to sit this
Everybody
shit
was saying
out.
that. Take an L.
You know,
Everybody
no,
just said that shit.
everybody
Take
was
an
saying
L.
that Bean would have been like, fuck that, get out there and hoop, nigga. Like you know what I'm saying. So if it's like that's how you grieve, that's how you grieve. But like how niggas want to lead the game and when they have childbirth, it's like, hey, I want to be there for my wife. Basketball's a big deal, but this is a bigger deal at this moment. So like, however you decide to do it, whatever. Listen, Blink 182's got some feel good music. Like
No, 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 no,
he's
no.
probably needs something right now. And they just came
Implode. No,
back
no.
together. Like fuck it,
Yeah, that's true. You can't
Travis
lose Travis, man.
Barker has been scared to get on planes for a very long time, and now he's on tour again. Fuck it, let's go see this Blink 182 shit. And just shoot me in the back door so that people don't see me in here. I don't need that
Oh
impressed. I don't need to
boy.
ask no questions. Yeah, but
Shit,
I don't know.
man.
Good for Cardi. Good for everybody. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and
Um,
prayers.
all right. All right. Shit, we might as well do a little bit of this NBA shit since that
Yes,
just
sir.
happened. Uh, apparently, we drafted in Miami um, the Mexican DeMar DeRozan. That's what I saw on Twitter. So I don't know. He looks good. Heat guy, I guess. The Magic signed, drafted another light skinned guard. They really like light skin. Oh shit,
Watch it,
that might
Scotty.
slide in. That might slide into right into Scotty shit too. That might slide right into Scotty shit too. And do you have a team, John?
I like the Florida Oranges, but
That's a great team.
no, to be honest, man, I think as I get older, I'm starting to become less like one team, whatever. I just like basketball and I like the players. So
Nah,
I was watching the draft last night. Orlando definitely did have a surprise with Jet. A lot of the insiders, Howard. A lot of the insiders are saying he was like 25th in the whole draft.
so he wasn't a lottery guy.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's just a byproduct of having your daddy right there and being in the NBA and him playing for 19 years. Like if he even gets to 10 years, that's a successful career for Jet.
Who's his dad?
Juwan.
Oh, this. Oh, so this he has another son.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know one son was in the G League.
Yeah. Jet
He
Howard.
was he was in our Miami affiliate. Okay, so this is another son. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yo,
And
Jet
he's like,
nice, man.
apparently he's like a knockdown shooter. They were saying like at his Orlando workout, he didn't miss a thing, and that's really why he went up that high. And then what's his name? James. I think he's only the third Mexican player to get drafted. Some shit like that. Like very rare Mexican area that he's in. I watched him at UCLA for the Arizona game. He's straight. I mean, I think he's a Heat guy, like Heat
yeah.
culture guy. He's a little bit slow. He looks a little unathletic, but at the same time, you go to Miami, and what's that rule? Like 2% or 10% body fat. Like they gonna get you into shape. So,
You got Deion Waiters in the shape.
yeah. And if you get Deion in shape, you get anybody.
He hated every second of
it.
So, to be honest, I think the winners. I don't know if y'all want to do winners and losers. I don't know how close, but I think Houston. Man, I love the twin that they got.
The twin, yeah.
And I love the twin that they got, and I love the dude. What's his name? Shit, it's blanking out on me right now. The dude that slipped because his medicals. Son of a bitch. I'm sorry, I'm fucking y'all podcast up. I can't remember his name.
Good, I'll do a quick search.
Fuck, what's his name? That motherfucker right there. I think he went to Villanova. He is the one. He is the one. So and if anybody's gonna get anybody in shape, it's gonna be Ime.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not mad at the twin. That shit looks scary.
And they got Amen.
Amen, yeah.
Yeah, he the
better twin.
That nigga nice.
He the real deal, boy.
I was kind of hoping they was gonna find a way to the same team, but
and so it looks like Whitmore.
Yeah,
because I think Miami, because I know a lot of Miami Heat, like Miami Twitter was like Whitmore was on the board. That's who they wanted to get when we were drafted. Because I think we went 18.
Bro, Whitmore is 6'7", 235.
Solid.
He is the real deal, bro.
But see, in that same vein, that's like, what's Jet?
I don't know if he's as big as Whitmore.
Let's see. What's
Jet solid. Jet solid. I think the Lakers
6'8",
pick up.
215.
That's what I'm saying. These boys big. These latest ones. This latest crop is the niggas is.
And he's a Michigan guy, so they could play ball.
He been playing NBA style. I mean, because the whole thing, a lot of the insiders are saying that Juwan was doing NBA style offense for Jet, like making sure that coaches saw him in NBA sets. So he can ball. He can definitely hoop. I just think he was going to be there later in the draft, bro. I mean, niggas is talking about he was going number 25. Like, he was going to be there. I don't get.
We don't need more. Like, we need what we need. We don't need we need what we need.
Yeah, but if you want shooting, you should have got the white dude Dick from Kansas.
No.
They say he the best shooter.
That disqualified him. That was a horrible.
Boy, Rick rolled the draft.
Awful.
He Rick rolled the draft.
The shoulders were too crazy. Like, I understand, like, Ballman gives you nice broad shoulders, but that one looked like empty hammer joint.
Yeah,
it looked like Hillary camp.
No, it looked like Clinton
camp. This is the Met Gala.
That's camp, man. That's Met Gala themed camp, man. He having fun with it, man.
Yeah, but you just camp the fucking NBA draft.
But that's what I'm saying. The NBA draft is known for horrible fashions. So I'm assuming
that white joint.
The knees.
Shout out to House Party, the new House Party with whatever he had that bitch on. They stole LeBron draft suit and had that bitch retailored for him. But,
that's funny. I didn't see that.
That shit good. But yeah, I think the draft was interesting. Winner is Wemby's sister.
Whoa.
I did a quick, I saw the screenshot from when she first.
And she hooped.
when we first found her Instagram.
The one that hoops.
Yeah. So when the demons
saw the clips.
When the demons first found the Instagram, she was at 14K.
They already found the IG.
Her shit booming now.
Yeah.
Her shit done blew up.
Yeah, I ain't followed.
I ain't followed, but I know where it's at.
I saw it. I said, oh, is that his mom? Like, no, I think that's his sister. Like,
yeah, very. You know, a lot of times when they be in that age, they
French
get those.
women love red lip.
I just got back from France, brother. That shit, all right. Hey, but how y'all feel about Wemby though?
Great curly hair.
She got an accent.
Yeah, she look like.
How y'all feel about Wemby though? Wemby, how y'all like Wemby?
From Rush Hour 3? That shit.
Hello.
Wemby,
y'all can't even be a good player.
That bitch really shy Shang, bitch.
Is he like
Yeah.
Just a quick question. Seriously though, do y'all think Wemby is generational?
He looks it.
I think it can be. Yeah.
The gauge stuff because the fuckers be getting hurt. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, listen, if he could get to what he's supposed to be, that would be beautiful to see. But I felt like they was like maybe not quite the same way, but I feel like they were just saying the same thing about Chet last year.
Yeah.
And he hurt his foot, and it was like no one even gives a fuck unless he's like he be kind of putting that shit on a little bit, but like outside of that, it'd be like because if you saw his because you know how like every summer they be showing them Rico Hines runs, his shit was looking elite, and he was
like a real
against pros, and then he breaks his foot, and it's like now they saying he's not gonna play summer league, and it's like I guess you're being precautionary.
If his body doesn't betray him, then he can be. Because I feel like, based on his interviews and, of course, his body of work, he's only going to get better. He has good work ethic. His head is on his shoulders. He ain't finna wind up.
And he should get stronger. Because Giannis looks the same way. And this guy, actually, he looks more solid than that. But you see Giannis now, he's fucking yoked up.
And I don't think nobody's going to do that Giannis shit. I'm thinking he'd probably be more along the lines of like a KD, but KD's body is just now. KD's still strong. Like I ain't see KD get bullied by no motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I think he could be fine as long as his body doesn't betray him. He gonna put the work in. And with the organization,
I just think NBA niggas is different. NBA niggas is different. They see a nigga that tall, they be like what Edwards gonna do when he see him? He's going off 2 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, this tall, I'm going off 2 feet. Like,
yeah.
And I don't think Ed's the only nigga that's like, exactly. It's like, you know how many niggas gonna try to now. He started putting these niggas down, and put that ball down. Maybe niggas start thinking of it a little bit different. But it's
I think he will though. I really do.
Yeah, I really like an elite shot blocker.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He was averaging like 5 blocks a game or some wild shit like that. But he also playing against French people. Like, no diss to the French, but like them niggas ain't hoopers. Like them niggas, they don't have the attitude. I think that's what separates.
Not on a whole. Like you probably got like some individual niggas that stand out in these leagues, but it's like you going against dogs every night in the NBA, every single night, and niggas, and they got the target on you. The number one
playing the Wizards
coming for you.
And you got to think, bro. They talking about that's a funny joke. They're talking about how generational this guy is. Ever since last year. Like, as soon as that last year draft ended, they was like, where's Wemby gonna go and how can he change the franchise? And then Brian Windhorst and Woj come out and saying, like, this is the best prospects is Bron, which is fucking stupid. But I'm a big Bron fan. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but that's the most pathetic, stupid shit in the fucking world to say. So it's like he has a lot of hype to live up to, and he's talking the talk. They during the draft last night, he did a couple of interviews and he sounds like he's ready, but at the same time, you can never see it. But I'm a gambler, so I want to ask y'all this. I'm a gambler, I sports gamble all the time. If I gave you the line, Wemby gets 1.5 championships, over or under 1.5, what would you say?
Over.
Go over.
Really?
Yeah, I go over.
Wow.
It probably won't be in San Antonio, but I go over.
Wow.
And I also think NBA niggas want to play with, like, as much as they want to go at this nigga, I think people want to play with him too. Mm-hmm. And I think that guy's not like a superstar star, but like the Sun. like he's a star, and like shit wants to get around the star.
Yeah.
So I think like, can he be the number one guy on a championship team? There's no way to tell this early. But if he get a couple niggas to come in San Antonio, and I'm pretty sure they got money to
They
spend,
do.
like couldn't see why they couldn't be a contender in the West, depending on who they sign in the next, definitely the next 5 years.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah, because the thing is, he might get one. Like the way NBA fucking careers are running now, these guys are playing like 15, 16 years. So it's like, how long was Dirk in before he got his first? You know what I'm
He
saying?
got drafted
Like,
in what, 98? I think he got his first in 11.
Oh yeah,
at least
7-Eleven. Yeah.
this decade in. And if you look at Powell, let's look at somebody who has multiple, right? Because Dirk only got one, but Powell got multiple. You know what I'm saying? So Powell was in the league.
LeBron was like year 7. So I mean,
That's what I'm
like you're
saying.
talking like in this, and that's usually when like the athleticism meets like
The
the
maturity.
actual game.
Yeah.
So the game starts slowing down. He's 20. He's been playing pro ball since he was what, 15.
Yeah.
So like their shit starts faster. Like Luca, like Luca is like where that he's at that point now where it's slowed down for him. And I think when you start playing pro ball earlier, so you start at 15, that probably starts your year 8, really like 22.
That's
So
a
this
good point.
this nigga might come on and nigga might be doing some crazy shit at 22, and it's like, hey, we got to get him. He's still on his rookie deal, and then go
Yeah,
crazy.
and
And
I love, like you said, I think people are gonna want to play him. If he is legit and he can stay healthy this year. You know what I'm saying? He played like upward of like 55 games. Then I think, and he's like productive. I think guys will want to get around him and be like, okay,
rookie of the year type shit. Maybe you definitely probably gonna get voted in the All Star game, but depending on whether you should be there or not. But like, I mean, I think they'll vote for him. Jimmy Butler was 4th in All Star voting at one point. Like, I think they'll put like,
yeah. Well, wherever the Spurs fan have something to root for now, so they'll throw up.
shout out to San Antonio.
What do you think?
Big old women,
Because
the big old women in San Antonio.
I feel like you think that it ain't gonna happen for him, man. How you feel about women?
Man, I just don't like the LeBron shit, bro.
Yeah, that's hard.
I don't, man. I don't, man. I think Wemby. I think the most impressive thing I heard from Wemby was him talking about preventative medicine and how his parents have taught him about injury, and like it's never what happens after you get injured. It's how to prevent to get injured, which he has to be. Well, he's the second tallest player to ever get drafted at 7'5". Yao Ming 7'6", the first. So you have to be worried about your lower extremities. You got to be worried about your feet, and you got to be worried about your calves and your Achilles, all that shit. So it's like, if he can be healthy, maybe, but at the same time, there are so many stars that have entered the league that we thought were going to be something and weren't. So when we're looking at that 1.5 line, I'd probably go under. I mean, yeah, you think about Yao Ming's career, bro. It was cut short because of injury. You know?
And most niggas don't win. Most niggas don't win rings.
Most niggas don't win ring. And whatever, I mean, it won't be in San Antonio. Niggas don't want to go to San Antonio. This ain't the early 2000s. Yeah. Niggas are young, rich, and black, and the internet has been booming. Look at Zion. The internet is more connected as ever. Niggas don't want to play no bullshit secondary market.
When you say black.
What's up, brother?
When you say black, I think Scotty Beam would want to have a word with you about that.
Oh, segue God.
Niggas are young, rich, and biracial.
Every year this thing comes out. Every year this comes out, and I'm always like, this is a good way for me to just ignore it. And I think this the most frustrating thing is like, I've already had kind of like my thoughts on Scotty. Like I remember when she was on the show with Joe Budden, and like I just felt like she wanted to argue, but then felt like she didn't have to like explain her point. And it was like, well, it's a show, so you kind of have to explain your point. Like, granted, it might be a little bit contentious, but this is what you got to do for entertainment, right? You got to explain your point. That only makes sense. But like this, every year, this comes up, and it's like, man, are we all gonna be black today, or are we gonna be all different races today? And like from someone like Scotty, it's like that's that's disappointing because like she's like one of those that's like, yo, we all together on this thing, and then the soonest you could get, because it might be, because let's be honest, it's probably a lot of white moms. Like it's just kind of how it goes. Unfortunately, it's black dad, white mom. You
Umar
know,
tier.
so when it's that, and you see the product of that on that stage, which I do think it's overstated. I think it's
Facts.
overstated. I think they make it seem like black men do not like black women, and they'll never talk about LeBron and his queen. They never want to talk about that.
Westbrook,
That's a very good point.
CP3.
Yeah, like they ain't been with her since, you know what I'm saying, since high school. And so like from her, like it was a little bit disappointing because it's like, all right, that was low hanging fruit, and it was corny, and they're still black. If they get pulled over by the police,
They getting
we're
shot.
not, and it's not no biracial. It is what it is. We see those kids and we know what black kids look like. Them ain't white kids. Like, come on. Like, so
You
yeah,
gotta look at the
that's a little
nose.
sad.
Gotta look at the nose every time. The nose will tell it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little sad.
Wait, say that again, brother. You
No,
said the nose is gonna give it away.
The
yeah,
nose will tell it. This shit's spread like peanut
yeah. There's
butter.
some, yeah, there's some
Um,
facial features that I'll be like, are you?
but no,
Are
that's
you?
the thing that leads me to like that wonders about Scottie Jr., like Scottie Pippen Jr., because he doesn't have it, and I'm like, that's definitely a dominant trait. Like, that's not you
Mm.
don't unless he, I don't know,
The
maybe
hair though,
Michael Jackson. I don't know, but
the hair.
yeah, man, I think Scottie. I think everything. I second what you said. That coming from Scottie Beam is definitely um, off. Now I think people kind of got to start calling her out about that shit because she actually has a lot of those type of takes where it's like you kind of was just getting on the niggas about this shit.
Yeah,
Like you kind of was just stinking up the Twitter party. We was all trying to get our jokes off. You kind of just ruined our Saturday. So it's
Well, it's
like
because she's fine. She gets
yeah,
yeah.
you
pretty
could do
privileged.
shit. You could do shit like that when you just drop a selfie with the
And
shits out,
she's
and
dark
it's just like,
skinned,
well, you know what? We forgive you.
and she's dark skinned. So like, not even being funny, but it's like it almost feels more valid. Like almost like, you know how they always kind of
Like something
kill
that you
like
don't have to
lights.
question.
They always kill like light skinned activists. Like, nigga, chill out. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what they be telling them. But like when it's a dark skinned woman and she's beautiful, it's like, all right, yeah. Like maybe I wouldn't have given it the time of day any other time. And you're saying something that's valid. And it's not even just me, because I don't mind listening to her. But like
Yeah,
some other people, whatever brings them to the party is what brings them to the party. But still, it's like, okay, maybe we do have to kind of look at it different. And then you come out with a take like this, and it's, or just a stupid fucking just sophomore retweet, and it's like,
yeah.
bro, that you could have kept that in the drafts.
It's certain shit that kind of we kind of have to get. If we want it to end, we got to stop making jokes about it. It's
Yeah,
just that simple. Especially
So if she was ugly, would it have been more impactful?
if she was ugly, she probably would have got killed.
they probably would have roasted her. I mean,
Oh,
because
so
they kind of killing her already in the replies, but like it's not as, I don't think it's going over as favorable as he thought it would be.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, we gotta stop this shit. Like
feel
we
free,
can't be the ones doing that. Like,
feel free to cut this next thing I'm going to say. Feel free to cut. Again, Patrick. Feel free to cut this, brother.
Are you telling me? We'll
I'm just
see.
saying
See.
it might
Let
go
it
off
go.
the rail. So
Let it go. I mean,
please,
you could go ahead.
okay.
Shoot.
So I'm saying, so is it a prerequisite for female activists to be fine? Because like if you think about sort of the talking heads, Angela Rye is fine as hell. Scotty
light
Beam
skin.
is fine as hell. Rachel from the
He don't
Van
know no more.
Lathan podcast.
He don't know no more. He don't know no more.
Oh shit! These are really good. Three really good examples. So,
Yeah,
like,
That's a good three.
do you have to be fine to have a voice that
No.
people care about?
Yes
think
and
so.
no. Yes and no.
I think. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, if you want people to, well, the thing is, people aren't going to deal with what you're talking about anyway, right?
Yeah.
So we see what happened with Gabby when she called out Kanye, the columnist for Vogue, and I don't even think she called out Kanye. She just wrote about him with the White Lives Matter shit in that collection. but she was actually very partial to him. But
Yeah, she was being nice.
Yeah,
she was
she
being
was.
as nice as she could. But I feel like had that come from somebody that is attractive, then or like widely accepted as attractive, then there wouldn't have been any pushback, or it would have been really like it wouldn't have warranted a rant or warranted this. It's how dare this person say some shit to me. When Angela Rye says something, or hell, even let's say Ebony K. Williams, she has a take,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she has something to say. She is, I guess, generally light skinned. I guess would you say she's
I
generally
think
attractive?
Ebony's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
But
pretty.
what we then base it on is like we don't listen to them either way, but we attack kind of the premise of the argument as opposed to we just gonna attack your appearance. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
know,
so so then we can actually still kind of if we can if we can wrangle everything, get everybody in, then we can have a conversation about what we're actually talking about. With people that we don't see as attractive, we kind of just only talk about how unattractive they are.
So by that
you know,
theory,
I
Rosa Parks was fine.
what?
No, yeah, that was the whole shit. Yeah, Rosa Parks was a baddie back then. She,
No, you
like,
know it's crazy though. I
shit.
actually don't even
You never,
necessarily agree with that all the way
they never even got the
because
lower third of Rosa.
I
There's a
Rosa
reason they didn't
Parks
show
was
you that.
thick as hell.
honestly believe like if we're being 100%, like the thing with Gabby, where I don't know if it's the best example,
Right.
is just because I think there's a lot more moving parts to her just not being attractive.
It's
Like
Kanye.
you're going against Kanye, so you're probably just not going to win with the stands in general.
Right.
I don't think it would have mattered if it was Angela Rye or if it was. I mean, you see how they do Kim Kardashian. You see how they do everybody when it is what it is. However, some other ones like Ebony, they was chewing her the fuck up too. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think generally like the way they treated that bus driver thing, I don't think that was like favorable in the least to
Well,
her.
see, I guess the thing I'm not saying that it's going to be favorable. I'm going to say the what they talk about is going to be a little bit different, and I guess also the fact
It
that it
reaches the
is
zeitgeist too, because they are.
Could
Ooh,
be that.
well.
That's fair.
Well,
That's
let's.
fair.
I guess let's bring it to the next topic because this kind of has a something to do with that too. Malika Andrews has been catching hell for the better part of a year now. I don't remember what the first shit was that she did wrong, but that's a pretty person, and
Yeah.
and because we're not talking about us, right? We're talking about
Yeah.
the guys that was telling people to go,
Whatever brings you to the
you
table
know.
brings you to the table.
yeah.
But yes,
We'll get whatever gets you here, get you here.
So then, those people I don't think like women. Period. So I think it gets worse
Good take.
as you're pretty. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
you feel like you need to correct for their entitlement, and it's like, bitch, I'm just talking. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like it kind of goes left with pretty people, right? Like then you have people that are going to disagree with them just because it's like, how dare you have an opinion? Like, and it's just like, what are we really? What's the issue with Malika Andrews bringing up, relevant
And I'm gonna push,
information?
and I'm actually gonna add on to that because it wasn't even an opinion. That's the crazy thing. Like
Yeah.
her bringing that up is like what I've noticed when it comes to Malika and just people in general. Because I think Envy and like DJ Envy and Portia was mad at Tamron Hall because of the way her conversations went. And I was like, oh, you guys just don't know what journalism is. Like that's what it
Yeah,
is.
bingo.
Where journalism actually to a point can feel a little bit contentious. It's like for you, John, since you just came back from overseas, going through border patrol. Like they're doing their job, but it feels as though they're treating you like a criminal. But it's
Excellent.
only because you're just not used to be taught that way. But that's like just literally the baseline of their job, not any more, not any less. So you wouldn't be doing your journalistic duties if you didn't bring up this really big thing that makes up something. This is huge in his life. This is huge in who he is. This is huge into maybe decision making. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what side of the aisle you're on. So this is not just doing it for salacious headlines and clicks. This is like, how come y'all didn't bring this up? You know what I'm saying? Like, are y'all trying to hide the fact that he did this? Now we're attacking ESPN as a company that should be towing the line and who wants to be known for having journalistic integrity. And now it feels like you guys are, now we can literally disregard everything you say because it sounds like bullshit. And it's like, this is not an opinion show. We're just talking about the facts. Like, they got computers, they got paper, because we cannot fudge these numbers up. And you see these people get like, what's that? What's them pages like? Cock sources and ball sacked, and because they'll come and just say some shit they saw on Twitter, some fact that don't mean shit, and then they get killed for it, and they got to come back
Kendrick
on the
Perkins to
air.
repeat it on shit. Yeah,
and they got to come back on the air and be like, "Yo, that was wrong. We took some sources in from uncredited da da da." And it's like, because we're journalists, we got to do the right thing.
Somewhere in the last 10 years, we have lost the objective truth. Like, Bronz, I love that point, because a journalist's job is to bring the objective truth. So, like, even if it's uncomfortable, it still should be talked about. I don't know what specifically happened in the last 10 years. I don't know if that's a blind spot, but somewhere along the line, we lost the ability to just have that objective truth. And if we're guessing what the next 10 years looks like, maybe the truth actually just doesn't matter. And maybe you just draft Brandon Miller without having that conversation. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, maybe just, who gives a fuck about the truth?
I'm gonna tell you, there's this great conversation between, I think it's Bob Iger and Jon Stewart. And it's just, I'm gonna tell you where it started. We can go back, and I'm gonna try to keep this as quick as I can. But George Bush, when he was, this is senior, I think when he was underneath Reagan, they got rid of the fairness doctrine or something, and that was something with the
news had to cover both sides.
Yeah, exactly. And so literally a year later, Fox News came out, right? And Fox News shot to the top because they were literally just kind of giving you the news, obviously, but like, we throwing in some shenan in there, and we shenan it again, and shenan it again, and shenan it again. So there's a lot of that. But where they literally flipped the switch, and it was around the presidential election. And so if you ever watch these shows, this is why I hate when they compare the two channels, because realistically, during the daytime, the channels look exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's literally just, we're going to tell the news, we're going to talk about it. When prime time hits, that's when these get these opinion shows.
That's when Tucker Carlson starts at 8. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but also on the other side, you'll see like Don Lemon, at the time Chris Cuomo. So like, the point is to give you the news, but it's also personality driven, right? But I'm gonna tell you where Fox changed. Fox, at a point, I think it was like 80% regular television and 20% opinion shows, and they brought that shit more to the center. And so what that looks like to the normal consumer is like, oh, this is a person with a Fox logo. This must be truth. Because why would the news put on bullshit? Like, that doesn't make sense. And so if you clip it and put it on Twitter and it's only 2 minutes, and you're missing all the context, where maybe there was a disclaimer in the front, or maybe, he says like, oh, you know what? I don't know if this is verified, or they put it at the end. I don't know if this is verified, but we just clip just the part where Tucker's talking. And I can make anything sound good. I just give you the highlights.
Yeah.
Anything's going to sound good, especially if you already on the fence about shit. Maybe you feel like, oh, stuff in America's not going my way, and then here's a nigga that's saying some shit that you kind of like a little bit. Now it's like, oh, that shit's different. Oh, but you didn't know. He don't even believe this shit.
Yeah.
Because it's a personality show. So at that point, when you said that the truth don't matter, it don't, because it never really mattered as long as you split that market share between the two channels. So now half of America watches Fox and half of America watches CNN, but Fox still kicks CNN's ass. Why? Because these niggas. Hannity, you know what I'm saying? Because of Laura Ingraham, because of Tucker Carlson. And so these guys are amazing at their jobs. Ridiculously great. All-time great. GOATs. It doesn't matter if you put them in a pulpit or you put them in the Oval Office. You're going to believe anything that they fucking tell you. Any fucking thing they tell you.
Yeah.
That's why they win. That's why they'll settle lawsuits with them. Because it's like, fuck it. We made $200 million with them. We'll write this 50 million check, whatever.
Who gives a
You
fuck?
know,
Yeah.
it's the cost of doing business. You know what I'm saying? And so that is literally where it happened. So now, like we talked about, now you see like Adam 22 pop up. You see Vlad pop up, even though he does really good like journalism to be fair, and that's why they be killing him. But then you might see like Joe Rogan or something where it's like it's fringy.
Teeter the line, yeah.
But they got big audiences, so it's like fuck it. I like Joe Rogan. I regurgitate what I hear from Joe Rogan. I'm gonna click these clips. Who cares if it's the truth? It's entertaining. And so now when you hear like actual journalism because you want to watch the draft, then it's like, man, why the
Get your
fuck
shit out of here.
why are we talking about this shit? This is not entertaining.
News.
I want to see him dunk. I want to see him shoot. And it's like, to be fair, that was a part of the story because when he did get in trouble, he went out and still played, and he put up like 40 in a game where they're saying like lock him up, like, and nobody could lock this nigga up for real. He was going off, he was going crazy, and this is like his defining moment for his draft stock was this game. So it was relevant. It wasn't just like, but if you clip it, it's like, dang, does Malika hate niggas?
Yeah, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? In a vacuum,
damn, you cook that shit right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, nigga.
Jesus Christ, that nigga cooked that motherfucker.
That was an amazing 5
minutes.
I
literally think about this all the time. Like, why do niggas not care about the truth? Oh, because who cares? What's Charlemagne say? Who cares about the truth when the lie is more entertainment? Like, he's been prepping us for this for years. Because who gives a fuck about the truth, even if it's relevant? It's not moving the needle.
Like, there's only 2 ways. There's only 2 ways to navigate this time. Yeah, it's only 2 ways. Only 2 things that we can do. We can provide thoughts, and we can provide prayers. That's it. The only thing we can do. Thoughts and prayers, guys.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, unfortunately. But I mean, I think that like here you kind of brought it back to like the title of the podcast. It's just about being intentional and like understanding like, all right, there is times where it's about entertainment, and then there's times when it's like, oh, this is actual news. And if you're not interested in like listening to your doctor, or you're not interested in listening to like actually like picking up a book or doing a Google search, you know what I'm saying? Like if not, like you're just
niggas in the want to wear masks, bro. Think about what we just came out of.
You'll just be a slave to Twitter, and that's where most people get their news.
Fuck.
And then it gets even nastier when you think about who owns the newspapers and shit. Because like,
and now who owns Twitter?
Like Elon Musk. Well, not Elon Musk, but what's the Amazon guy?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Bezos.
He owns the Washington Post, and then the Fox owner, what's his name? It's losing me. Rupert Murdoch. He owns the Post, the New York Post, the New York Times.
Yeah.
So like these guys who are kind of right-leaning guys, and then obviously Musk with Twitter, they dictate this. And Rupert Murdoch's not as bad. He just kind of employs dickheads. But like these other 2 guys are more or less like, bro, who gives a fuck? Like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And it's like, those are the people those are the guys that own the shit that you thought was sacred. You don't think that they probably tweaking it a little bit, like just a little bit, firing actual journalists, bringing in bloggers, shit like that. Like, so journalism is effectively dead because of that. Not because print died, because nobody gives a fuck about the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like Vanity Fair is like, they do really good work. Who gives a fuck? It just feels like a smear campaign. Like when they killed Kirby. Like on some shit like that. It was like, they're killing this nigga. It was like, no, they're talking to people and they're investigating and they actually are being kind of fair. And they will give you the opportunity to talk. Niggas don't pick up the phone. Niggas don't respond to email. So you don't get to tell your side of the story. It gonna look smeary then. Like,
but what they will do is, go on Drink Champs later on and then fucking do a tell all about it there.
Oh my gosh, fucking Nori. Nori gets so drunk. Hey, he gets so drunk and forget he asked the question twice already.
It's a shitty product.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it. After a little bit, I was like, yo, once they get too like in the first hour they be cool. But once niggas start to get too drunk, it's like, oh, I
Yeah,
gotta turn
once it
this
gets
off.
past an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're like, all right, man, what are you doing? Shit.
Niggas
But
start getting too drunk. But I don't know, man. I feel like that's a good place to stop, I guess.
yeah, John, do
Thanks
you
for
have
letting me ISO.
He
you have
cooked that shit right there.
you have any final thoughts on the truth on
Who,
pretty privilege?
who
Any,
me?
yeah, John, do you have any final
Oh man,
thoughts?
I've been for the last few months. I've been becoming a comedian and doing everything it takes to become a comedian. Going to classes, doing writing sessions, performing. So all of this is material. So thank you.
Yeah,
See,
I tell Al this all the time when it comes to like her with her content. I'm like, your life is dope enough. Like you don't have to like finesse the content. Like you could just find the content in your everyday life. And like I think we do dope shit and we might have the humor and shit and you could find that. You ain't gotta like manufacture it. And so I hope that ends up coming to some beautiful written work.
I hope so, man. It's funny. I actually not to tell you how the sausage was made, but I wrote down pretty privileged. So I'm glad that conversation went here because it definitely give me some more inspiration. But yeah, man, I look
That
forward to whenever y'all pick up that phone call, man. I had a blast, man. Whenever y'all pick up the phone call, I definitely want to come back here and talk some more shit. So I appreciate y'all having me.
yes, sir.
definitely nice to have you. Like you said before, at Johnny Tsunami,
At Johnny Tsunami, at Florida Orange, new drop
at
coming
Florida
soon.
Orange, at not Patrick Hughes, at Bobby Bronz, at Blind Spots without the vowels and the underscore. This is part two to week 15, so we'll be back on week 16, obviously.
Yes, sir. Howdy.